50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome everybody. Happy Labor Day, episode 302 of the Dream Wager. I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me as always is our NBA guru, my partner in crime, E. E, happy Labor Day. Welcome. How you doing?
Dill, I'm doing great, Dill. Coming off a little cold, so I'm feeling much better today. Ready to enjoy the holiday. Ready to have a great episode with you guys.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, you sound a little better too. Not as much sniffles as you did over the weekend, but glad you're feeling better. We got a loaded show for everyone. We'll recap an amazing week one of the college football scene. Little NFL news as well. We got MLB plays, got an 11-game slate on Memorial Day. And then we got last game of week one in college football, Clemson versus Duke tonight, prime time. We got plays there as well. But I think there's no place other to start than prime time. I said it here. I said it. Get the video. Get the clips out. I said it. They were going to upset them. 20 was disrespectful, and they came out, and every shot that TCU gave towards Colorado, they answered. And I thought that was the most impressive. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders, he was very impressive. Set a school record in his debut in the FBS level. And there was a lot of criticism. Oh, he was an HBCU quarterback. You know, he's only there because of his father. No. He's in Heisman watch right now. After he could have thrown for 600 yards. Travis Hunter missed 2 deep balls that hit him right in the chest. So, and obviously Travis Hunter, he might be the best player in the country. He played 129 snaps on both sides of the ball. Colorado is legit. I said they could have star players on all those, on the running back, Dylan Edwards. He's a beast. They got star players. They got to clean up a little on defense, I think, especially when they play Oregon or USC. But I like them. They're legit. And Deion Sanders really has those boys believing. What'd you make of Colorado?
Dill, everything you said and more. Still, I'm not going to say I was shocked, but it was surprising. At the end of the day, we said it on the show. We expected it. We both agreed 21 and a half was a little disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Dill, all-out run? Come on now. That was history being made, Dill. And I'm just glad that Deion was able to pull it off week one against TCU. Dill, that was special. Like you said, Travis Hunter might just be not just the best corner in college. He might just be the best player in college football, as right now as a true sophomore. Sanders, Shedeur, Dill. You said he's entering the Heisman conversation. Dill, I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the nation right now if we speak. This man put up 510 yards. He easily could have got for 6. Remember, Hunter missed one in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, Horn missed the one up the sideline. He catches that one. He's still running with it. So, Dill, I just – the fact that he was able to jump from the HBCU level to the FBS level and look, he completed 81% of his passes.
I know.
He completed. It's not like he just jumped, a level and then still was good. No, he completed 81%, threw for 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That boy, Dylan Edwards, shout out Dylan's middle name. It is Dylan Edwards.
Facts.
True freshman. This kid is 18, 19 years old. Just went out there, had over 100 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Still, the only thing I could honestly say, I could say negatively about this team is that worries me moving forward is the running game. They only had, 26, 36 rushing yards as a team. You can't do that moving forward, especially against these elite schools. But still, what we saw defensively, I know it was shaky, especially these defensive linemen up front. But when it was the last possession of the game, that defensive line was starting putting up pressure. So, I understand it was shaky throughout the game, but when the rubber needed to meet the road, last few plays of the game, that defensive front stepped up and created pressure. I love to see it. I know that team is going to be much better in 5 weeks from now than what we saw just Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, 100%. And you saw the pick. Travis Hunter literally took it out of the guy's hands. That was amazing. That pick, yeah, you're right. And they met every answer. Every time TCU answered, Colorado answered. Yeah, their run game, I knew that coming in that was going to worry me a little bit, especially when they play USC or at Oregon. Those are going to be tough games. Utah's another good one. So they got some work done, but this weekend against Nebraska, I mean, Nebraska just lost bad to Minnesota. I can't wait to lay it with Colorado, to be honest, but they're going to be a fun team. I loved what I saw from them. And, you said he completed 81% of his passes. It was the decision-making on that fourth down to win the game, catching it out of Dylan Edwards' hand. He had a linebacker come out right in front of his face, off balance to get it over him, and not just get it to where he could catch it and then run. Oh my God. And Dylan Edwards hit the burners on the sideline. I thought every answer TCU made, the poise of this offense, man. I was shocked. I knew 20 was disrespectful. And yeah, I said I would taking them on the money line plus 700, but I didn't really think they had that big of a chance. And Deion said, we not coming. We here. And I believe him, man. I am very impressive win on the road. USC, Caleb Williams, best quarterback in the country. Nice bounce back against Nevada. Didn't look as good against San Jose State, but man, they whipped the fucking shit out of Nevada. That was a big win. Michigan took care of ECU. I covered the plus 36. I told you they're going to take the foot off the gas a little bit. They did, thankfully. Michigan wins on the road. Ohio State, man, they fucked me. They got the win, but man, they looked flat in the first half. Quarterback worries me. This ain't CJ Stroud, I'll tell you that much. Indiana had a good game plan for them in the first half, but they just didn't have enough talent to compete with Ohio State. So to say I'm worried would be an understatement. I think we'd get blown out by like a USC or Alabama right now. Ohio State does not look good in my opinion. UNC, they beat South Carolina. They covered the USC or South Carolina, for example, -7 rushing total yards. You're never going to win a football game if you can't run the ball, period. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that game, but man, Spencer Rattler couldn't do it by himself. It looked bad against that. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
No, I didn't watch it, but I ended up seeing some highlights. Though, like you said, when if you can't force anything on the running game, how could the quarterback be successful during the game, Dill? Remember, the running game is the quarterback's best friend, even in the college level. I understand we saw Colorado put up, 45, 48 points with no running game, but that's not going to get it done against any other school, Dill. So they got to get something going. When you go -7, that's just horrific. So yeah. I think they got to work something out, Dill. But the kid if he just gets a little help in the running game, that team could make something.
And then Penn State, they winded up blowing out West Virginia. Over cashes, but Penn State could not cash. West Virginia could not cover. Texas Tech up 14 after the first quarter in Laramie in Wyoming. And then they just didn't fucking cover. They wind up losing in double overtime outright as 14-point underdogs. Or 14-point favorites, excuse me. So awful beat by me there. Rutgers, great win for the fucking Scarlet Knights. Took care of business at home against Northwestern. Easy cover, laying the 6.5 for us. And then last night, I guess the game of the week, FSU, LSU versus Florida State.
Ooh-wee.
Man, Ellis. Yeah, it was a beatdown, especially in the second half. In the first half, close game. A lot of drops
in the first half.
Yeah, very entertaining. Back and forth, going shot for shot. But I think LSU, to be ranked number 5th, was an overreaction. They will not be in the top 10 after that. They got embarrassed. Not by an SEC school, by an ACC school that won 4 or 5 games last season. This is not the same Florida State team. I will tell you that. Jordan Travis is him. He's a baller.
And then that dude Coleman, the wide receiver.
Oh, my God. They were just more physical. They got up in front of LSU and said, we are better than you. We are more physical than you, and you cannot stop us. They're frauds. LSU are frauds. That's basically what it is. They got outscored 31-7 in the second half. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, Elvis. Did you watch the game last night?
Still, I saw parts of the game. I saw the first half mostly. Second half, got out of hand. But the first half was electric. That kid Coleman, he's gonna be a first round pick. He's a problem. I expected more to see, but Florida State was just something special. I expected them to be that good. Yeah, yes, they hyped up LSU. We expected a little more, but what we saw from Florida State, let's not underestimate that. I understand this LSU was disappointed, but Florida State might be a real deal. It wouldn't shock me. They're a Final Four team come January now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they were the number 8 team coming into this season, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is a big jump." They got a lot of transfers coming in, but man, and Brian Kelly saying we don't look like the team we thought we were. What'd you think? They were the number 5th team in the country. You had Jaden Daniels. You have all these guys that are supposed to be NFL caliber. And then they just got absolutely manhandled at home too. It was actually sickening to watch. So overall, it was a good week. We'll try to end it strong with this LSU and Duke game. But overall, my record for week 1, 12-13, down 1 unit. If LSU would have won, man, I would have been up. But couple covers that didn't really go my way. Like I said, Florida, Louisville, Boise State got manhandled by Washington. The over in the Ohio State game, Texas Tech, South Alabama didn't cover. They lost outright. They lost big. LSU. So overall, we're going to try to get 13-13 after tonight. Elvis, how did you do over the weekend?
I did all right, though. I went 2-1, Shout out Rutgers, -6.5. And then Colorado +20.5. Should have took them on the money line. Would have been up several units. And then the only fucker of the weekend was Purdue. I ended up taking Purdue -3. They ended up losing outright. So,
yeah.
I was shocked. I was surprised by that one. But hey, you can't win them all. 2-1 to start off the season, Dill. It's not really my cup of tea, but I'm gonna give you some now. I'm gonna always throw some out there.
2-1. No, that's a good start. And they lost outright to Fresno State too. So
at home.
Yeah, at home. That's worrisome for the Boilermakers. I agree 100%. But let's stay on the gridiron now. And we were talking about when we did the Chiefs preview and us all throughout our NFL 2-a-days in the summer, we knew Chris Jones was holding out. He hasn't reported to the team. His status for this Thursday is unknown. You think the Chiefs and him get something done? Apparently, the sides are nowhere close. One, do you think they get a deal done by Thursday? And if they don't, do they need him against the Lions? Because the Chiefs, they've won 11 straight games against the NFC.
I'm going to say this. Do they need him against the Lions? No. They don't need him against the Lions. They won't need him, honestly, the first few weeks of the season. Let's just be honest, Dale. But do you need Chris Jones in that front D-line to win another Super Bowl? Absolutely, Dale. This defense won't look the same how they look down the stretch, especially in the playoffs and especially in that fucking Super Bowl, without Chris Jones being the anchor in that front line, Dale. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive tackles in the game. And the fact that they can't get a deal done after the performance he had, not just in the playoff, in the Super Bowl, Dale, it's kind of shocking. I thought they would take care of him. They got to pay him. I understand he might be wanting the moon and the earth. He might want to be getting paid what Aaron Donald gets paid around, $25-30 million. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you got to get a deal done. I don't think the Chiefs could go out there and win the AFC without Chris Jones handling the front. I understand one player doesn't win a championship. I understand that 100%. But what Chris Jones brings to that defense is nothing else. I think he's the best player on that defense, and I think he makes them a championship, not just contender, a championship defense.
Yeah, what he did in the playoffs, and not just the Super Bowl, and the whole playoff run when it really mattered, man, he should be getting paid off of that alone. But you're right, maybe not. I'm looking at the first few games of their schedules. They're at home against the Lions. We think they don't need it. They should take care of business. On the road against Jacksonville, week 2. Might be a little tough. That's a hard one. Then they're at home against the Bears. They should take care of business. Then they're on the road against the Jets at MetLife. That's another hard one. But eventually they need him. They got a hard schedule. I don't think, and they don't have a bye till week 10. So, and then when he comes back, he also has to get in shape. Like, he just can't go out there and perform.
for the Jets game, he's gonna need to be back on that front line. If not, I don't think the Chiefs are gonna be able to put a lot of pressure. Because you understand the Jets' offensive linemen. I'm not gonna say they're elite, but they're not no pushovers. That's a pretty good offensive lineman. And without Chris Jones, I don't think they're gonna be able to force a lot of pressure, especially on Aaron Rodgers. You got to get him uncomfortable now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And it's not even just the Jets. They're back-to-back road games, and then they go on the road against and play in a hostile environment in Minnesota, where it's a tough place to play. They might not be the best team, but going to New Orleans, that's a tough place to play. So, no, I agree. I think eventually they need to get a deal done. I'm surprised they didn't get it done. Travis Kelce's going on his podcast saying, please come back. We need you. Andy Reid said we need you. Patrick Mahomes said we need you. But he wants to get taken care of, and I don't blame him.
And Dill, we're only 3 days away from opening night, people. So he has to get a contract done or at least something signed. I'm going to say by tomorrow. Yeah. There's no way he gets something signed Wednesday and he's playing Thursday. He's gonna need at least 1 day walkthrough, full session walkthrough deal. So if he's not signed by at least, I'm gonna say tomorrow 2 p.m. deal, I think Chris Jones will be a no-go week 1.
Knowing our luck, he'll get signed 5 minutes after we're done recording.
No bullshit. No bullshit. We should end the podcast. I'm gonna say in like 40 minutes. Yeah. We're going to post it around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I guarantee by 2:15, 2:30, Chris Jones, breaking news, 5 years, 120 mil.
Yeah, it always fucking happens. Throughout this history of the pod, 302 episodes, that has had to happen at least 10 times. Yeah.
I remember one of the best ones was when Russell Wilson got traded.
Yeah.
And we literally talked about the Seahawks.
It was funny. The only time I think we got lucky was we were recording and breaking news while we were recording was Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets. I think that was the only one we really got lucky with.
Yeah, but it wasn't certified yet. It was just Aaron Rodgers plans on signing with the New York Jets. He wasn't traded to the New York Jets yet.
Oh man, knowing us, our luck, he'll get traded or not.
Chris Jones gonna sign a major contract in about an hour.
Yeah, just wait. And then the only thing other besides that is, like I said, Noah Lyles is laughing. He came out with this statement. And said Lithuania is the world champions. He's laughing in our face because the United States lost. I don't even know how the words coming out of my mouth. They lost to Lithuania, one in the FIBA World Cup, 110 to 104.
Shame.
It's sad. I'm trying to get the words to articulate what I really think. They lost in the second round to no one we know, to not one NBA guy on Lithuania. And I don't want to just say it's the coaches, Spoelstra, Steve Kerr. It's the coaching staff as well.
That may be the best 3 coaches in America.
And then
in the NBA.
Lose. I mean, Anthony Edwards dropped 35, but other than that, everyone else sucks. Even my guys, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, ass. But I really think the worst players on the team, to be honest, was Jared Jackson Jr., Tyrese Halliburton, and what's his name? Brandon Ingram. Man, they don't even act like they want to be here. I mean, I didn't watch it. I watched highlights, and their body language, walking around, they turn the ball over, sluggish. They don't want to play. And then they're surprised that they're losing. These players are giving it their all on these other countries, and you have this sluggish, I don't give a fuck attitude. I'll read you his stats. Jared Jackson, and this is supposed to be an all-defensive player. 3 points, 3 rebounds, fouled out, 1 assist. -16 from the floor. He's a bum. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear, oh, he was good on Memphis. He's an all-defensive player of the year. Where was that? We can't name you one player on the Lithuanian team that he could guard. Not one. It's just, it's sad, Elvis. And you know what? Now they're playing in an elimination game tomorrow on Tuesday against Italy. I was looking at the line. We are 16.5 point favorites. We're losing that game. we're going to lose that game. I'm telling you, I'm going to take Italy plus 16.5 because it just looks like the men don't want to be there. I'm sad. They disrespected the flag, everything. What do you think about this awful performance?
I'm not going to say you're overreacting, Dill, because I kind of agree with some of the things you said there. At the end of the day, there's no reason why the U.S. team, one, should be down 20-plus points versus Lithuania and then lose a game to Lithuania. You got this team loaded with all-stars and potential all-stars up and down the floor for Team USA. You're Team USA, you're basically letting Lithuania, a team that don't have no NBA players, you're basically saying that starting 5 or 8-man rotation they have could be a lot of NBA teams. That just pure talent, they can't. But pure effort, they can. That's what it is, Dale. It comes down to effort. These teams are playing with all they fucking might. They're playing out there to accomplish something as a team, not just as a team, but as a country as a whole. And these Americans, I'm not gonna say they're taking it for granted, but we know they're not taking it as serious as their opponents, especially as these other countries are in the FIBA. Deal. We know how Greece goes down. We know how Argentina gets down. We know how Spain gets down. Deal. These teams have been playing not just for a couple of years, since they were children. Deal. And
yeah.
So they have this chemistry that these USA teams don't have. Deal. So that's always a thing that I think people forget. But Deal, there's no reason we should be losing to Lithuania. To be honest, every player on that 7-8-man rotation for Lithuania should get an NBA contract tonight.
7 players on Lithuania were in double digits. Only 1 for the United States. No, 2. I'm sorry. Jalen Brunson had 14 points. That's unacceptable. It comes down to effort. They have none. And honestly, they played with 8, 9. They played with 10 players. They only played 10 players, Lithuania, and 7 of the 10 were in double digits. It comes down to effort, like you said.
Those 7 deserve a contract, at least in the G League, at the bare minimum.
And you mentioned Spain. Big win for Canada. Canada beat Spain 85-83. People in Canada are saying this is the biggest win of the country. Shout out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. 30 points. RJ had 16. And I hate to do it, but I got to give Dillon Brooks his flowers. He dropped 20. He dropped 22 points. He was plus 24 from the field. He had 3 steals. He had a block. He had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He played not bad. I'm not going to lie.
$80 million man, Dale. That's an $80 million man.
It took everything in my core not to give him his flowers, but I have to. The guy went out there and balled. Even Dwight.
Respect. Dillon gives respect where respect due. If you've been a loyal listener to our podcast, you know how Dillon feels about Dillon Brooks. And this man just gave that man his flowers. Respect to you, Dillon.
I'm biting my shirt because he shot 68% from the field. I mean,
he won't do it again, but he did.
He did. And they got Dort. They got Lucien Dort from OKC, and he's a defender. Like, they got some pieces on this team, and SGA could go out there and drop 30 points a game.
He's a top 5 point guard.
Yeah, 100%. So to beat a big team like Spain, who's very competitive every year in the FIBA, you got to give respect to Canada. So shout out Canada. At least they're fucking giving it their all. And I like to see Jalen RJ Barrett go out there and have some chemistry and actually play well. So shout out him and shout out Canada. At least I'm rooting for them because it doesn't look like the United States are doing anything.
Hey.
So I'm rooting for my Canadian brothers up north. But Elvis, let's get to it. Let's get to these MLB plays. We'll start on the diamond. Like I said, only 11 games on early start time. 2 o'clock is the first start time. So you got about an hour and a half before first pitch. Elvis, I'll let you lead it off because you have more plays than me. What do you got?
Dale, let's go. First game up. Let's head to Chicago. San Francisco Giants taking on Chicago Cubs. Dale. My boy Jordy still on the mound. Give me the Chicago Cubs on the money line. I ended up catching it at minus 140. They're at minus 134 right now, Dill. Smash it. I think Jordan still take care of business. The Cubs been just a second half team since the summer started, Dill. I expect them to make a late push as well. Dill, give me the Cubs on the money line.
Yeah, it's a short number, -130. Justin Steele, he's fantastic. He's actually a friend of the MLB podcast that I'm on. So loyal listener, love him. And I think the short price at home against a Giant team that's been struggling, I agree. I took Chicago Cubs at home on the money line -130. And I'm also going to take his over strikeouts at 5.5. He's hit this in 6 straight. He's hit this in 8 of his last 10. Last 5, he's hit it in 100%. And he has 1 game against the Giants this year, and he had 6 strikeouts. I think he goes and has 6 strikeouts again tonight. So those are 2 plays in the same game. I like Justin Steele over 5.5 strikeouts, and I like the Chicago Cubs on the money line. What else you got, kid?
Dill, let's head to Arlington, Texas. Dill, I think we both have some action in this one. Battle of the Texans. Dill, Houston Astros taking on the Texas Rangers. Over under sitting at 9.5. Game is at a pick'em. Gonna be one of the best matchups of Labor Day. Dill, give me the roll team, even though they're in the state of Texas. Give me the Houston Rockets, Dill, to take care of business in Arlington.
Astros. You're already in NBA season.
Yeah. Wow. I said the Rockets. That's crazy. Talking about Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Give me the Houston. I almost said Rockets. Give me the Houston Astros on the money line, people. -108. You got France on the mound. Don't get me wrong. I expect this to be a great pitching matchup, Dill, but I think the Astros are just rolling a little better right now. Give me the Astros on the road.
Yeah, remember, it's my little thing. I like to, ever since last season, I like to fade teams. I know they're staying in state, but it's still a travel spot for the Houston Astros. They played last night. They actually got swept by the Yankees. The Yankees might be watchable again. Watch out. But they just got swept by the Yankees. Rangers, they had a nice walk-off win against the Twins. They don't need to travel. Give me Andrew Heaney. I saw him play against the Mets. He had a very good outing. I think he continues to roll. I'm going to be on the home team. Give me the Rangers on the money line -108 as my last play.
Dill, my final play of the night, Dill. Let's go to San Diego. The Phillies taking on the San Diego Padres. Your boy Walker's on the mound versus my boy Rich Hill. Over on, they're sitting at 9. Dill, give me the Philadelphia Phillies on the road, Dill. On the money line, -102. I caught it at -110. I love the -102. Hey, people, shop around. Maybe you could honestly get +100, +101. Shop around, people. I think Philly is the dog of the day in this situation. I think Rich Hill's on the mound. He's going to let up a lot of hard contact. And that Phillies lineup been a little hot as of late, Dill. So give me Philadelphia on the road versus the struggling Padres. This disappointment, San Diego Padres.
Yeah, they did just sweep the Giants, but yeah, I still trust the bats of the Phillies a little more. And watch out, Juan Soto's hit a home run in 5 straight games, so maybe sprinkle a little on Juan Soto to hit a home run. He's been hot right now, but you're right. I think they should be the favorite here in this game. I know it's on the road, but it's been a disappointing season, to say the least, for the San Diego Padres. But Elvis, good luck on the diamond. Let's keep it high. How did you do over the weekend with your plays, by the way?
Oh, Dill, I cooled down. I think I went one. Hold on, let me just check right now, people. You know me, I'm gonna keep it 100. You know me.
Transparency is key.
I went 1 and 3, people. 1 and 3 on the diamond. Was 6 and 2 prior to that. So we still
regression.
Yeah, on the month, last 30 days, you're 19 and 16, people.
Okay, we're above water.
We're above water. I don't give a ton of plays out in the diamond, but when I do, I try to make them some winners. So if you've been better with me the last 30 days, you're up. You're not up a lot, but you're not losing money. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Elvis, let's get back on track today. Good luck. Quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys, or today on Labor Day having a barbecue, having an elderberry. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanca tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get to it. Primetime game, last game of week 1. We got Clemson on the road taking on Duke. Right now, Duke, it's been flip-flop. Whether you get 13 or 12.5, I'm seeing 12.5 right now. Clemson 12.5 point favorites on the road. Over under is at 55. It's come down from 56 to 55.5 right now. Some books I'm still seeing 13s. They're begging us to take Duke at home, but I don't think I could do that. I think I gotta lay the 12.5 at home, on the road with Clemson. Clemson, I was looking into it. They have one of the most dynamic running backs in the country with Will Shepley. Klubnik, they have a 5-star recruit. He's gonna be the backup as well. So you pair them up between each other. They're the real deal. They got a great offensive coordinator, Garrett Riley. I think he's a weapon as well. And, we've always known Clemson has a good offense. Their offense has kind of been weird, especially last year with DJ Ungalu. DJ, I'm just going to say DJ. I can't pronounce his last name. He's the quarterback of Oregon State now, but their defense was always the one that kind of never wavered. Last season, number 10 in expected points last season. So, and that was supposedly a down year for the Tigers. So, it was the first season without Brent Venables leading the Tigers defense. Now they enjoy arguably the best linebacker duo in the country. They got Jermaine Toddler and Barrett Carter, 2 middle linebackers that are probably going to be first, second round draft picks. And the defensive line, they got a 6-year starter in Xavier Thomas, who should bring up pressure up the middle. So they got one of the best rosters, I think, in the country. Duke Blue Devils, they were -16 last year in turnover differentials. They faced 4 bowl teams in the regular season. They were 0-4 last season against bowl teams. There's just too many question marks for them. So I do like first half. I think you have something there, but I'm going to lay the 12.5 on the road with Clemson. What do you got?
Dill, I can't deny anything you just said, Dill. This Clemson team, I expect them to be a little better than they were last season. It's just, can the Blue Devils make a backdoor cover late in the game? Possibly, Dill. So with that being said, Dill, I ended up touching the game in the first half, Dill. Give me Clemson first half -7.5 points, Dill. I just think this is the right play. I expect this Clemson team possibly the first, maybe even 3 drives to be scripted, and I expect them to go out there and score their first 2 possessions, Dill. I expect them to be up at halftime by at least double digits at the bare minimum, Dill. Can the game get out of control? Possibly, Dill, but the Blue Devils, you got to give them their respect. They're here for a reason. So can they back cover? Yes. I think Clemson's take care of business on the road, but give me the -7 in the first half. And like you told me earlier before the show started, Dill, I think Clemson's won the first half, covered the spread, dating back to last season, I think, 5 or 6 weeks. So
yeah, 5 of the last 6 weeks. On the road games, too.
So Dill, that makes me even more confident about this play. And I think Dill has something to say about Debo. I think he didn't keep a man of his word.
Debo, I think it was before the NIL started, he came out, religious man. I respect that. I'm a religious guy as well. And he goes out and says, you know what? The money's ruining everything. Once these players start getting paid, that's when I'm out of the game. That's when I'm retiring. You ain't saying that now. I'm still waiting for him to retire.
Shame.
When is he going to? I don't want to say liar, but not a man of his word. It has come down now to 7. Not the 7.5. You're laying -115, but I still like it.
The -7.5 is +105, people. So
that's the thing. So whether you think they're going to cover or not, I like it. As for the total, like I said, it's come down, which I don't understand. It started at 56. It's at 55.5 now. The new offensive coordinator for the Tigers, they're a little fast. It's going to be a little tempo change for them. And, we talked about it with Colby. It's the new rule with the running clock after first downs outside of the final 2 minutes. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a factor. The Tigers, they scored 34 points in 7 of their 12 games last season. Their team total sitting around 34, 35 right now, depending on the book. Duke's defense is weak, especially against the pass. They ranked 95 against the pass last season, and that's their bread and butter. Clemson is going to throw the ball, and if they can't stop them, I don't see where they don't put up 40 points. And I think Duke could put up 10, 15 points themselves. So for the over, for the total, I do lean over 55.5. Any opinion on the over?
Still, I expect Clemson to put up a ton of points. So if anything, I'll lean the Clemson over. It's just, can Duke, match the firepower? That's my thing. We saw, like you said earlier, Colorado and TCU go back and forth. They were able to match the firepower. It's just, can Duke keep it up? I think Clemson's going to be able to put up a ton of points on that defense. It's just, can Duke also put up the amount of points still? I think at 55.5, the number's a little short because it would have shocked me if the Clemson gets around 30-something, possibly up to 40. It's just, can the Blue Devils also get to 20-something, 30 points as well, Bill? That's my question. You're muted.
Thank you. First time in a while. Duke team total is at 21.5, so they are expecting them to at least score 3 touchdowns, maybe even a field goal.
That's the thing, though. Like you said, though, they got honestly one of the 2 best linebackers in the country. Yeah. That defense was good last year. I expect it to be a little better this season. So yeah, that's my thing. It's just, I don't know what to expect from the Blue Devils. At the end of the day, that's still Clemson. They're at home.
They're at home.
So I'll give them a shot there. But at the end of the day, I know what to expect from Clemson, especially from the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what to expect from Duke. We already know what that defense, but what were you going to expect from the offensive side?
Yeah, actually, give me Clemson team total over 34.5. That'll be another play for me. I think they score at least 40 points in this game. So, yeah, like I said, they've scored over 34 points in 7 of their last 12 games, and that's while they were shuffling around offensive coordinator. You had Debo actually calling some plays, and they had a weak offensive line according to some. So they were over to score 7 of the 12 games last season. I think in a more structured, more reliable offense this season, I think they could score over 34. So, yeah, over 34 team total. That's going to be another play for me. But, Elvis, thank you. This is a little short episode. I don't think we've gone under 40 minutes in a while. But we will be back Wednesday for week 1. Lions, Chiefs, baby. And we'll have plays there as well. What are you doing today for Labor Day, kid? Barbecue?
Barbecue, hit the pool up. You got to enjoy the last real day of summer, you could say, because, no kids are in school. You're off, holiday. So this is honestly the last day of summer. So, you got to hit the pool up, got to hit the barbecue up. It's about to be 1 o'clock now, Dill. So we only got a couple hours left to enjoy the day, Dill. So let's
enjoy it. Enjoy it, brother. Have a hot dog. I'll be having a barbecue as well. Everyone, enjoy your last day, quote unquote, of summer. But that's going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of Viva, Elvis, myself. We'll see you guys in a few days on Wednesday. Don't forget, follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday night for Mondays for Monday Night Football. YouTube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.